All right, folks, let's go there. The World Bank Country Director for Nigeria, Dr. Ndiame Diop, has said the economic policies set up by federal government of Nigeria should not be tinkered with. He believes there will be light at the end of the tunnel.
I also believe that too.
Okay.
And I'm also,
if we give the policies time.
Yes, time. And I'm also somebody who is always saying, how long did it take you to get to where you are? Will determine how long it may also take you
to get
back to where you are.
Okay, okay.
Because you spoke about the good days when we had surplus, and then we allowed it to sleep.
No, Dotun, I'm one with late Professor Chinua Achebe. There was indeed a country in this country. I'm sure you know what I mean.
Yes, I quite agree with you on that. But then, the basic questions Nigerians are asking is, between now and when all of these policies will fully germinate, what happens to us? Are we going to die?
In the intervening period?
Yes. So, it's one of the questions we've asked here on this show in the past, when a former special advisor to the president on media and publicity, what are the low-hanging fruits? We know that there are some that are up there, but which ones are we going to get immediately? And we are beginning to see some, but Nigerians want to see it in a way that will give them assurance that things will continue to get better and better and better. Not that there is so much pain now that some of us would have died before this better will come.
Okay.
We spoke about one of them on this program. That's the National Education Loan Fund. It's a good starting point. We're also beginning to see that the CNG buses are coming. We're also saying that some industries, there is hope that they can get back because there are movements here and there.
Okay.
But as we are seeing those, we are also seeing side by side that the Naira is not getting better against the dollar. We are also seeing that some roads are getting worse than they were. So how do you move and how do you transport? Even if you have the CNG buses, for how long are they going to last?
Yeah.
So those are comparisons we are doing and doing rigorously. Not because some of us don't like Nigeria, but because we want things to happen very, very fast. So that, so that we can have some...
all right, we have company. Dr. Ango is reaching us from Kainji in Niger State. Dr. Ango, I greet you. Can you hear me, Doc?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
Okay, let's go. Yeah, how do you intervene?
Yeah, I want to agree with the World Bank. The problem of Nigeria, as I am thinking, is not on the policies that are being put forth. Rather, it is the problem of the common Nigerian seeing the opulence that is being displayed by our leaders. You tell us that we should play it soft, we should be patient, we should take it easy. Yet, you display so much wealth. We see our leaders, they are not tightening their belt, they are asking us to tighten our belt. So the problem is...
they are listening, yes.
They are the cost in governance, the cost of governance. Let there be that cost.
Yeah.
Let's see our leaders also playing soft, and we'll follow suit.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Doc. Yeah, it's not a question of, well, it's not a question of do as I say. It should be do as we. But you Yorubas have this profound saying. When trees fall on themselves, you start lifting from the top.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes. Absolutely.
Does that apply here?
Yeah, I think it applies. And when we are dealing with World Bank, we need to appreciate some policies that we have been advised to implement.
Okay.
We need to also appreciate how those policies are being implemented. But
because they matter.
Yes, but what is important to us is that we must be guided by the knowledge that to develop this country is not primarily dependent on the World Bank. It is dependent on the kind of leaders we choose, the mission of these leaders, and how they are able to enforce policies. You know, the World Bank is talking about policies. It's not talking about implementation. Implementation is an entirely different thing entirely. Because if you look at the history of the World Bank itself, when it came in 1944, the idea was to rebuild Europe and Japan after the Second World War.
World War II, yeah.
So, and that's why they call it International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. The idea was not set up for the third world country. About 1.1 billion people live in the third world countries. And if you look at the structure...
At the time.
Now. Yes. And if you look at this, you know, the structure, that's the least developed countries. Not developed countries, but 1.1 billion. If you look at the structure of the World Bank with about 25 directors, how many of them are Nigerians? The US has about 70% control, voting power in the US. The powers in the World Bank, Germany, Japan, US. So, and when you look at the context of global competition for trade, there is no way the US will want you to to develop more than its own country. So there is that competition going on globally. That the UK, for instance, if there's a trade in 2022, we had trade relationship with US about $10 billion. There's no way the US or Britain will want you to manufacture cars, or Japan, because that's what they bring to your country.
Oh yeah.
There is no way they want your electricity to be stable, because if it's stable, you'll be able to manufacture goods that will compete with them. So we must not be blind to the reality that there is competition all over the world, and that when you look at other countries like China, Singapore, they were able to break away. What they did was that...
Is this why across board people are not happy with the Bretton Woods institution?
That is it. You have to look at, those policies and domesticate them. But what must come to your mind first is your people, the interest of your own people. So when the World Bank has come with policies and all that, you must sit down and weigh those policies that are good or not. Because, for instance, they are talking about we are owing World Bank, I think, about $16 billion.
Yeah.
Look at the kind of interest we are paying, and then the projects we are implementing. Are those projects what we need now? Are we investing in railways? Are we investing in agriculture? Are we investing in roads? So what I'm saying is that the World Bank can only provide a guide for you. It is now left for you to sit down and look at those policies. When they are talking about subsidy, well, you can't just say a blanket ban on subsidy. There are areas, even in the US, they see subsidized agriculture. They see subsidized a lot of things in the US and Europe. So our leaders must not be carried away by the belief that World Bank give you a perfect solution to your problems. You must look at their recommendations and domesticate those recommendations to fit your own interests. And it's not all their recommendations that are the best. Some are good, but some may not be to your own interest. If you sit down very well to look at to weigh the options.
Doctor, so are we in a fix now? They say to be or not to be. That's the question.
We are not in a fix. Like you pointed out, the implementation is our major problem.
Otherwise, the intervention of the World Bank is okay by you?
Almost 100% perfect.
Okay.
Let's give an instance. The petrol subsidy. This thing has been there all along. And what we have been saying is the fact that some people have been exploiting the system to make
to advantage,
to their own advantage. We still have some cases in court of people who did not even bring in 1 liter of petrol, claiming subsidy for millions. of liters of petrol. We still have those cases in court. There are some that didn't go to court at all. Some paid. They refunded money. Those are the kind of things we are looking at. World Bank says, give palliatives. World Bank cannot come and stop our civil servants from stealing the palliatives or requesting for money that is more than the amount of palliative to go and distribute the palliative. We still recollect the team that wanted to fly from Abuja to Lokoja, where there is no airport. And even the driver of the vehicle that was supposed to drive them to Lokoja also took money to fly to Lokoja. So when all of these things are put on the table,
but we need to look at it. Yes. At that point, it's a two-way street. Collect money where you should not. Don't be people, they pay the money.
That's what we're saying. That is the people who are running the system that are making it look impossible for these suggestions to work. It's not as if it can't work. If all those monies we lost to those fuel marketers are being put in railway, for instance, I can imagine where Nigeria will be now. If all of those monies had been put back, let's take our refineries that are not working today.
By choice.
We have always argued that this problem has gone beyond the leaders of NNPC. Because they are told, don't worry, this thing, we will make it work tomorrow.
Yeah.
The man has assurance. That's what he has been told. He comes to tell you that this is what I've been told. This thing will work tomorrow. What happens? It becomes a problem because the people who are there, they are obviously benefiting from some things that even the man at the end of affairs does not even know. Because it's obvious that it pays them better for that refinery not to work.
Yeah.
And then you have a lot of other issues going on. Can we begin, like he said, don't subsidize petrol. Go and subsidize agriculture. Or even if you are not going to outrightly subsidize, pay particular attention to issues around agriculture.
Yeah. Well, let me come from this angle. Some days ago, the president of the PBAN, that's the Professional Bakers Association of Nigeria, explained why a loaf of bread would attract the price of the loaf of bread will be going up.
Yeah.
One, we have the wheat, which is about 60% of the
content.
Is imported.
Whereas we can produce here.
13 states have been empowered to grow wheat in this country, led by Kano State. And another component, major component, is yeast. Yeast can be produced locally. Yeah. So we don't need...
There's even nothing in bread that we can produce locally. Nothing.
Good. So we don't need the World Bank to come at that point.
Yeah.
So the point you made about agriculture, there are so many first-class graduates who read agronomy and related sciences.
I've said it on this program before. My friend, who is a farmer in Osun State, he wanted a machine that can produce, that can grind plantain, the unripe one, into flour. Into flour. And then he was looking at the cost to bring it in because that's the only option he could see. Then he said he sat one day, just like Citizen Jones will sit and was having his beer. And then opposite the place was a man, a welder. And he saw that he had some few things like machines. And he went to him and said, I want to do this.
Can you do this?
The man said, if you want to do it now, bring some money. You come and collect this machine in the number of days.
Really?
That's the machine my friend is still using till today. Almost 5-7 years. So we have everything that we need. But we now need to pay attention.
Well,
Ajaokuta is not working, sir.
I just talked about bread now, wheat. Cassava flour.
Is here now.
Do we import cassava?
If not for the components that are expensive, I can eat free bread in my house. My daughter, who is an undergraduate, has a machine with which she bakes bread, makes us meat pie.
You're advertising, though.
I'm not just advertising. I'm saying that we can, even inside our own house, we should be able to do it, because this is what the cost of the materials keep going up every day.
Yeah. The president of IBAN, Mr. Onu, has said the war between Russia and Ukraine are also affecting. Yeah, Ukraine gives us wheat, but we can grow wheat in Nigeria.
It's just like
we don't need the World
it's
Bank.
It's just like coming to say to me that we can't have enough rice in Nigeria to feed ourselves.
Yes.
We can. Even if it is only a Bonny state, it can feed the whole of Nigeria. Borno state alone can feed the whole of Nigeria with rice. But what are we doing?
The Imota plant is supposed to be
there. And then Lagos State has gone into Ogun State to get a land to grow.
Okay.
You know all of these things. But what are we doing? Are we giving it to the right people to do, or we're giving it to portfolio farmers? Because money is coming out. The last regime did a lot in agriculture. That's a former President Muhammadu Buhari.
Yeah.
He did a lot. But most of these funds ended up in the wrong hands. And that's why we will have people who are coming to use the opportunity of the rain that fell in a particular year to say all the money has been swept away.
In other words, Wale was telling me a while back, we don't, if we are doing things correctly, Dapo, the World Bank does not need to show us the way to the to the toilet.
At all. Yeah.
We know the road, or don't we?
Yeah, of course, we do. So it's just a problem of how to ensure that we live to our words. What do we say?
Within
what do we
means,
do?
Yeah.
There are two different things.
Are we ready to help the country? Because as we speak, Wale, so many Nigerians don't love this country. I'm sorry. Let me say that.
They claim they love it, but they
don't.
They love their pocket more. That's what happens. It's not.
And you forget that nature does not forgive.
Yeah.
When it decides to strike. Yeah. Nature will not forgive us, because nature, another name for God, has given us the land, the wherewithal, and the intellect. We are thinking people. So what's wrong?
One of the things that even our clerics should be teaching us now is that God will not do for us
what we should do ourselves. Yeah.
It's a basic law. It's a basic law. And that's
of course, from our primary school days, we had been told heaven helps those who help themselves. Yeah. If you say, may God save you from hunger, it means you are going to
must walk.
You must walk.
There is a song that says, "Pass me not, O my Savior." In our own part of the country, Yoruba, we say, "Makoja mi olubala."
You don't kneel down.
You don't kneel down to pray that kind of prayer.
Oh, yeah.
You are walking. You are moving. You are moving with that kind of prayer.
Yeah.
Because it won't happen by magic. All of these things that the World Bank, that the concept, this is just like my boss said, not working because of who we are.
Yeah.
Who we are.
So we want to thank Dr. Ndiame Diop for his intervention, but what is left is to our leaders.
Yeah.
And decision. Obviously, gentlemen, what we do here is mold opinion and allow decision makers to take advantage of the opinion. So what more do we say?
We should face
No, please go ahead.
We should face the things that are important.
Yeah.
Look for the low-hanging fruits that Nigerians can quickly benefit from. We need food.
By the way, the other angle to the story is having to do with poverty. If we say conservatively our population is 200, 230, you gave me the last time, and the World Bank is reminding you that we are 129 people of these
129 million.
129
million
of these 230 million are hungry. We are in a mess.
That's why food is important. He said it.
Yeah.
Once we're able to tackle the issue of food, which is what a lot of the developed countries do, the rate at which you bought McDonald's some years back is not likely to have changed drastically.
I want any of you to help me interpret this prayer in song made many years ago by the late Adeolu Akinsoya. Má fi ebi alẹ́ pa wá Olúwa, Èdùmàrè má fi ti òwúrọ̀ dán wa wò. Please loosely.
Well, may we not suffer the affliction of poverty. May our early days not be
wasted,
you know, for lack of nothing. So I can't have a perfect interpretation.
Because the song ended by saying, it is hunger that will make you eat. You eat your enemy's food.
Yeah.
You know the way they say it, sir? You are saying you don't want to eat your enemy's food. As your friend cooks at all. Has even put water on fire. You know?
All right, folks. We are done.
Yeah.
Our job is done. But let me thank Dr. Oladipo for your time and your intervention.
Thank you so much for having me, sir.
Okay. Wale Adeoye. Wale is my proud friend from Ogbomosho. He's a proud...
He's from Ekiti.
Ekiti State.
Yes.
I was at your place last week.
Okay.
It's a very beautiful place.
Okay.
I felt like I was in Europe. That's the Akwa Ibom Resource Center.
Yeah.
That center was built 70 years ago. I'm impressed that we have some.
It is possible.
Like Europe,
we can make Nigeria great again.
It's have been, you know, in recent times. I'm telling you, maybe apart from IT.
You also need to go to Ikogosi.
I think, Ikogosi. Instead of going to Europe, you have to go to Ikogosi.
Go to Ikogosi. Just make the road better now.
Yeah.
And then everybody is happy.
It's excellent.
All right, folks, we are done. On behalf of the Backroom Boys,